Hi, my name is Ms. Phelan, and I'm your college and career counselor. I'm here today to talk to you about the Texas Success Initiative exam that we're offering on March 3rd here on our campus. So first, let me talk about college readiness. The purpose of us giving you the Texas Success Initiative exam, otherwise known as the TSI, is for you to show your college readiness. What it means to be college ready is that you have the ability to successfully complete a college level course, credit bearing college level course without remediation or without having to take a developmental class. And so by credit bearing, that means that the classes will go towards a degree. All too often, I have seniors who leave our campus and go on to a university or a community college, and they are not aware of this, of the TSI, of having to meet certain requirements. And they may be placed in classes that are below college level, and they're paying all this money for classes that don't go towards their degree. That can be a little frustrating if you're not quite ready, and then you have to take more developmental classes in order to move forward. So our goal is for you to leave here college ready. So how do you show you're college ready? You show it by taking tests and making minimum scores. So last school year in March, you took the SAT. Unfortunately, a lot of students did not study and were not familiar with this requirement. And sometimes students don't study and they don't make the scores that we know that they can make. And so you were watching this video because on that test, you didn't make at least a 480 on the evidence-based reading and writing section of the SAT or a 530 on the math section. Some of you may have not met both requirements. Some of you maybe met one and not the other. Another way to show college readiness is through the ACT. With the ACT, you need to have a composite score of a 23 with a minimum on the English and the math having a score of a 19. So if you took either the SAT or ACT at another time, please make sure that you check those scores and let us know if you made those minimums. If you did make those minimums, we can certainly use those to exempt you, and you won't have to take the TSI on March 3rd. So please be aware of these minimum scores. So if you did not make these minimum scores, then you will need to take the TSI. So the TSI exam, what it is it's a test that has two sections. This year they've put the reading and writing sections together, so it's all in one. And then we have the other section, which is the math section. It is a test that you will take on the computer, and it is adaptive, meaning that the questions will increase in difficulty as depending on how you respond. So if you respond to easy questions and you get them correct, it'll keep the questions will keep getting harder. If you keep missing questions, they might take you further back to do a diagnostic to see where you need help. And so as soon as you complete your test, you will get immediate results. You'll know whether or not you passed. And as I said, you'll receive a report if you did not pass, and it will tell you what areas you need to work on to make sure that you pass the next time you take it. It is untimed. That is the nice thing about the TSI, is that it's not timed. And I know some of you don't do as well on timed tests like the SAT or the ACT. And so that is an advantage that you will have with the TSI. It does have a start and stop feature so that if you need to take a quick mental break, you can stop and then progress a little bit after your break. So again, it's just another feature of it not being timed, just like the SAT or the ACT. So who needs to take the TSI? Anyone planning to take college level classes here in Texas will be required to take the TSI and hopefully pass it so that you won't have to take any remedial classes. If you're planning to go to college out of state, it would be good for you to research some of those requirements. If you need help, I can certainly help you research what requirements may be needed. Those out-of-state schools require different things. Some of them do require tests, some of them don't. So if you need help with that, please let me know. So again, studies show that students who are college ready at the time that they enroll, they are more likely to complete their degree. So that's why we're putting an extra emphasis on you taking and passing this TSI. But I have students who come back and tell me that they have different plans, that their plans are not to go to a four-year university or a junior college or a community college. They'll come to me and tell me, Miss Phelan, I plan to take a gap year. I want to take a year off to just work and figure out what I want to do. And I am fully supportive of plans like that. My only warning is that sometimes students somewhere they do plan to get a degree at some point. And so what I would say is, if you are planning to take time off, I encourage you to research whatever career you plan to pursue and see if math is a requirement. All too often I talk to adults who did not start college right after high school and just had a really tough time going back to school because the skills were just not there. I think the area that is most difficult sometimes to come back to is math. With reading and writing, yes, that can be hard to come back to, but it's not the same as the math skills that you lose when you're not constantly using them. So I encourage you, if you're planning to take some time off, at least be ready to take at least your math class in order to be prepared. If you're planning to enlist in the military, congratulations. I hope that all goes well. But a lot of times students enlist in the military with the intention of going on to college. So I do encourage those students to, again, take the TSI, do whatever you need to do before so that you don't have to, so it doesn't have to be so difficult once you come back to college. Some students plan to go to a trade school. Maybe they plan to do something like welding or auto tech, cosmetology, one of those things. And a lot of those programs do not require tests. But again, our goal is for you to be prepared for whatever your plan may be. Some students, even though they go to a trade school, they may want to continue on with a college degree. So I encourage you to just leave here ready because I talk to students who change their mind all the time. In March, they are wanting to do a vocational program. In August, they have totally changed their minds, and now they want to do a 4-year degree. So, this test is not very, very, it's just a one-time thing so that you can see how you do. So if you have any questions about that, please come see me if you're still kind of trying to decide what you plan to do next year. So what is required to take the TSI? You do have to complete a pre-assessment activity, and this comes as part of one of the requirements for any of the colleges or universities that you're planning to attend. I'll talk a little bit more about that. You do have to register and pay for the section you need. So if you only need the reading and writing section, it'll cost you $7.50. If you need to just take the math, it's $4.50. If you need to take both, it is $12. So it's a lot cheaper than going through any of the other colleges. So for example, I had a student who is already accepted to Sam Houston University, and he needed to take the TSI. He signed up for it through Sam Houston and is going to pay $50 for the test. So we're offering it at a much a more inexpensive way for you to take the TSI. Even if you go to Lone Star College, they're going to charge you twice as much. If you are planning to attend Lone Star College, you do need to apply. I will include instructions for how to apply to Lone Star College in the email that's with this video. Once you apply to Lone Star College, you'll receive a welcome email within 1 to 2 days, and then you can set up your My Lone Star account. In your My Lone Star account, you will see the pre-assessment activity there. So what the pre-assessment activity is just a quick tutorial on what's on the TSI, a few videos to watch, and some practice questions. They are not for credit, and you're not going to get a grade for those questions. It's just to give you an idea of what the TSI is going to look like. If you're planning to go to school at somewhere else in Texas, you can still use the Apply Texas instructions, and then for whatever college you plan to go to. So say you're going to Blinn or wherever. Some of you may have already applied. If it's Blend, for example, you'll receive a welcome email as well. You'll set up your college portal, and then you'll see the pre-assessment activity in that portal or on the school's website under TSI testing. Once you've taken your pre-assessment, please send me a copy of your completion. You should get some sort of PDF or something saying that you completed the pre-assessment activity. If you're planning to go to a school out of state or maybe a four-year university that doesn't offer the TSI, you can take the pre-assessment through our own URL, and I'll include this in the email as well. Once you have registered and paid and completed your pre-assessment activity, the next thing is you need to study. So in the email, I've also included a link for where to start studying. It is super important that you take the time to study, make the most of this opportunity because it is less expensive. It's convenient because it's here at school. You're going to receive instant results. So why not make the most of it by studying and being prepared and passing the first time you take it? Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Please complete the form that's included with this video.